Hey everyone, welcome back to another Diablo 4 video. So, how do you reset dungeons? It's different for solo and group play. If you are playing solo, you simply clear the dungeon, you leave dungeon. When you leave dungeon, you press your whatever opens this wheel, and you'll click leave dungeon. When you leave dungeon, it will bring you back to the entrance. See how I'm at the entrance right here? You will leave game, and then you re-enter the game, and then you can re-enter the dungeon. It should be reset. This is for solo play. It does not work in a group, and at the same time it takes longer. As far as group play, let's say if I invite the people I'm going to run dungeons with, I will be the host, right? So I send them invites, we go in, we clear the dungeon, we leave dungeon. Same thing with this quick wheel, whatever you want to call it. Leave dungeon, all of us will be at the entrance. Then we will have to disband the party, and someone else will have to be the host. It does not work if I were to disband and then re-invite everyone, and if we enter, the dungeon will not be reset. You will have to have someone else host the dungeon, meaning you can take turns, have it known, alright, hey, I'm host now, second round, leave party, this other person will be the host, and you can alternate between those two people only, or you can do a full rotation. It doesn't matter. The key point is the person hosting first cannot re-invite everyone. So yeah, that's a quick answer as to how to reset dungeons, solo and group play. I do have footage on me doing all these steps, so if you're interested in the steps on how to do it, please stay tuned. If all you wanted was information, then feel free to click out now. And yeah, thank you for watching. So I'm going to clear this dungeon, and then I'm going to see what it takes to reset it. Alright, so I just completed the dungeon, so let's see what happens. If by re-entering, if it will refresh the dungeon itself, or if I need to take other steps. So you see on here, it has the check mark for the dungeon. Let's see if it will reset just by re-entering. So it's still discovered. So you cannot re-enter the dungeon once it has the check mark. I'm going to leave game and then re-enter and see if that will change it at all. So I left game and I re-entered. Now the check mark is no longer there. Opening the map, it's not discovered. Now we gotta see if enemies will spawn. Yep, yeah. It worked. So that's the way to reset the dungeons if you're solo. As far as in a group, I'm going to test that out after I clear this dungeon and see if there's any tricks to it. Alright, so I completed the dungeon. So second completion. So I'm gonna leave the dungeon. Yep, it has the check mark right there. Now let's see from here if I go to town and come back if it lets me back in or not. Alright, so I'm back in town. Now I'm gonna head right back, see if that reset at all. Still has a check mark. Re-entered. The map is still there. Alright, no enemies, so that doesn't work. So in regards to resetting the dungeon that you want to grind, as far as solo play, you have to leave game, re-enter. Once you re-enter, you'll be able to go right back to the dungeon. So if you want to spam the same dungeon over and over again, that's all you have to do. And that's for solo play. As far as group play, I'm going to test that out. So if you're here only for solo play, then that's pretty much the end of it. If you want to know both solo and group, then please continue watching this video. I will be going over the group play. Alright, so I managed to get someone in my group. This dungeon reset as I was waiting. So before solo play, you're able to leave game, re-enter, and it resets the dungeon. Now, if you're in game the whole time, it does reset over time. What's weird though is the map still has the checkpoint, or sorry, the check mark on the actual dungeon icon. So this is us clearing the dungeon after it reset. Then after we clear it, I'm going to see how we can reset the dungeon as a group. Alright, so we cleared the dungeon. Now we're gonna leave. Alright, so we're just gonna try and re-entering to see if that changes anything. Just to see. I highly doubt that it'll reset. It did not. Yep, did not reset.
I need time to prepare that.
Now I'm going to see if transferring party lead will do anything. So promoting to party leader. Did not work. So now I'm going to test leaving party and having them add me. So I left party. Alright, so now I'm in their party. Re-entering. And that reset it. So in group, you're going to have to pass lead or leave group and restart, and someone else has to host it. Alright, we completed the dungeon. So now we're going to see how else we can reset it. So I'm going to leave the party and then have them re-invite me since they're the host. Alright, now we're going to re-enter while they are still the host. It did not reset. Now I'm going to see if me swapping back to lead will reset the dungeon. Alright. Now they joined my party. Now re-entering. The dungeon has reset, so it worked. Alright, so for solo play, a way to reset the dungeon is you could just leave game, re-enter, and it will reset. If you're in a group, you will have to um, reform party and make sure that someone else is a host. You can't just, let's say, for example, the person in my group right now is LA. I was in their group, they were host, we cleared the dungeon, we left the dungeon, I left group, they were still the host and they re-invited me, and that didn't reset the dungeon. So then what I did is I became the host, I sent the party invite, and then the dungeon reset. So those are the different ways on how to reset dungeons, solo and in group. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.